Mike Mentzer was a renowned bodybuilder who was known for his emphasis on the concept of momentary muscular failure in his training philosophy. This concept forms the cornerstone of his approach to building muscle and is based on the idea that muscles grow and develop only when they are pushed beyond their current capacity to perform work.
Executing that last, almost impossible rep causes the body to dip into what's called its reserve ability. And since your body only has a small amount of reserve to draw upon before depletion occurs, the body protects itself from future assaults on its reserves by enlarging upon its existing ability through the compensatory buildup of more muscle mass.
According to Mentzer, momentary muscular failure occurs when a muscle group reaches a point during a workout where it can no longer perform a specific movement or exercise with proper form and technique, despite the individual's best effort to continue.
Only high-intensity training can force the body to resort to its reserve ability sufficiently to stimulate an adaptive response in the form of a muscle mass increase. Repeating tasks that are well within your existing capacity do absolutely nothing to stimulate growth. Ending a set before failure just because an arbitrary number of reps have been completed will do nothing to stimulate an increase or induce growth. Carrying a set to a point where you are forced to utilize 100% of your momentary muscular ability is the single most important factor for increasing strength and size. Working to a point of momentary muscular failure, where another rep is impossible despite your greatest effort.
This point is often referred to as the point of positive muscular failure, and it is the moment when a muscle group is no longer able to produce the necessary force to complete a repetition. In Mentzer's philosophy, reaching this point of momentary muscular failure is critical for muscle growth and development, as it stimulates the body's natural adaptive response to increase muscle size and strength.
The last rep would be the only one where we say it requires literally 100% intensity of effort. You're gritting your teeth, you're shaking all over, and you barely get the bar to the top. Now I ask you, which repetition of that set is more likely to stimulate an increase in strength and muscular size? The first rep, which is the least intense, or the last rep, the hardest one, the only rep requiring 100% intensity of effort?
When a muscle group is worked to the point of momentary muscular failure, the muscle fibers are broken down, which triggers the body to repair and rebuild those fibers, resulting in increased muscle mass and strength over time. Mentzer's approach to training involves high-intensity workouts that aim to achieve momentary muscular failure in each muscle group being worked. This is typically achieved through the use of heavy weights and low repetitions, with a focus on strict form and technique. The goal is to push the muscle group to the point where it can no longer perform a full repetition, while minimizing the risk of injury and avoiding the use of momentum or cheating to complete the movement. Mentzer's approach also involves carefully managing the volume and frequency of training to ensure that each muscle group is given adequate time to recover between workouts. This is based on the idea that the body requires time to repair and rebuild muscle fibers after a workout, and that overtraining can actually be counterproductive to muscle growth and development.
While the notion that more is better is attractive in its simplicity, it just doesn't work. Let's look for a moment, in fact, at the implicit logic in that idea. More is better, audience, means literally that. More is better means more is better. There's a built-in guarantee. If 20 sets are good, i.e. yield satisfactory results, then 40 sets would be even better. And 80 better still, and 120 sets better still, and so on into infinity. And that's where we find ourselves. There it is, the obvious tenuity, the monumental absurdity of the volume argument, all wrapped up in a singular childlike notion that more is better. It is erroneous, illogical, non-productive, and even counterproductive. Look about you. Everyone who engages in exercise or athletic training of any sorts performs a certain volume of work. If volume was the key in and of itself, the stimulus responsible for triggering growth, those who perform the most exercise, the greatest volume, such as marathon runners, would have the largest muscles. It's also interesting and illuminating to note here that the majority who advocate the volume approach have little or nothing to say, at least not consistently as part of a valid non-contradictory theory, about what the actual stimulus is responsible for triggering the body's growth mechanism into motion. At least I'm not aware of it, or any of you. What do the volume people claim is the stimulus? I guess implicitly it's the volume, but they never give you any explanation as to why that is or what the mechanism is. And that's one of the reasons I refer to theirs as the blind, non-theoretical volume approach. It's literally blind. Yes, anyone and everyone who exercises, aerobically, anaerobically, or athletically, has to perform some volume of exercise. Right? That the issue of volume in high-intensity anaerobic weight resistance exercise is a negative factor, period.
While Mentzer's concept of momentary muscular failure has been widely embraced by many bodybuilders and fitness enthusiasts, it has also been subject to some criticism and controversy. Some experts argue that pushing the muscles to the point of failure can be risky and may increase the risk of injury, while others argue that the concept may be too simplistic and does not account for individual differences in training response and recovery. Despite these criticisms, Mentzer's approach remains popular among many bodybuilders and fitness enthusiasts, and his concept of momentary muscular failure continues to be an important concept in the field of muscle building and strength training. Whether one chooses to adopt this approach to training or not, understanding the concept of momentary muscular failure and its role in muscle growth and development can be valuable for anyone interested in improving their physical fitness and achieving their fitness goals. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.